We see a lot of stories about America's changing workforce. Reporters tell us about what they think is missing or speculate on what's different. Craig Worth says he knows exactly what has really changed. That is, that few seem to wear distinctive hats anymore that represented their jobs.
Remember when pretty near every job had a special hat? Such as service station folks, taxi drivers, your milkman, and of course the nurse who gave you shots when you were a kid. Those are some of the first vocational hats you probably remember. Certainly Nurse Kathleen Kaufman remembers.
Each cap at that time in the 50s would have indicated the school that the nurse had graduated from, because each school had a different shape or style hat. And it became more of something that just sat on the head as opposed to covering the hair.
Chefs always had, well, of course, a chef's hat.
Hello, may I come in?
You know it has 100 folds in it to represent the 100 ways to cook an egg. And cops, well, you had to have a cop hat, not like today's cops in baseball caps or those with no caps. I mean, this was a cop because of the hat. Although this is what a Salt Lake cop wore 100 years ago.
I think it was something that was easily identifiable with the position that they were wearing. And I think that I read something really peculiar, that the hat was supposed to hold your knowledge in your head. And if you wore a hat, you're considered to be a more knowledgeable person.
You see, hats made the person and the whole uniform complete. They showed that you were a professional. They were more than just something to keep the rain off the head. They were a symbol. Or again, like with the nurses, they were like a diploma that you wore on your head.
These two hats are from the University of Utah, and they again would be bobby pinned on the back of the head, you know. And there was a symbol of nursing, and it was a symbol that people treated with respect.
Some hats were what you had to wear, or you had to wear because it was just what folks wore for centuries. And I always liked the press workers' hats. They were made out of the paper that they printed. And remember, mechanics wore hats, usually with Union buttons on them. Oh, I suppose it was a modern era where folks waved goodbye to their uniform hats. But I am glad to see that pilots still wear hats, swell hats. So do park rangers. It would be wrong to not wear them. But after listening to Nurse Kaufman, well, I guess I miss hats because I'm getting old.
And I think people liked it. I think particularly older patients really like it, because that's what they were so used to. And younger ones, I don't think that's as big a deal, but for the older patients, they feel much more secure that way.
But again, as she said, hats brought respect. Yep, I see the respect already. I mean, it's the hat. Yeah, hats. Hats that made the job. And hats that made the authority. The authority. Craig Worth, ABC4 News.